Hilton.
Yeah, and I just want to remind us when we say the state and the mandates, they're actually elected people just like us that we chose democratically to elect that write this legislation to get it into sign it into law. And we have thousands of people up and down the state of California that are advocates for stuff like this. We are advocates for stuff like this in the city of Gilroy. We actually wrote it in our housing element. It's a goal of ours. We're part of the county collaborative that has made it easier to, to build ADUs in Gilroy and around the county by doing pre-approved ADU plans, right? We do ADU education. We're doing outreach. I want us to take a little bit of a step back on this, like, blame it on the state type thing, because they are our partners, they are our electeds. If we want them to come here and talk about bills that they've gotten passed or whatever, then let's invite them in. But so how are we going to move forward to ensure that we comply with state law? Because I can tell you that one of the reasons why the language was added in there that if the city doesn't do this process that we're doing right now on an annual basis, like a cleanup language basis, that you just become null and void because they're not going to sit around and wait for us to enact those changes. So what's our move besides just having internal conversations like we should get this in front of council, we should get this in front of council? Like why are we not just doing language cleanup like every January like other jurisdictions do? And I know you came from another jurisdiction, so maybe there's a best practice over there that you can bring here.
I could speak to, there's a number of priorities in the city of Gilroy, and there's staff that deal with a lot of these. I did fortunately come from another jurisdiction, and what I've appreciated is the urgency that bringing this AD ordinance up to the council at this time. I can't speak on internal operations that had happened 6 or 9 months ago, but I'm really excited about bringing the opportunity and answering these questions about AD ordinances. I can't speak to what's going to happen for the future. I know we've had conversations with ACD, and they seem to be happy with what we're proposing, and we're proposing the minimum standards that they're asking us to propose. And I know that, actually coming from another jurisdiction, I know that the same standards that are being asked here are being asked in that previous city I was working for. So
let me go to Councilmember Fugazi.
Yes.
First, let me say I will blame it on the state. So I don't have a problem with that. The state of California is encroaching on many cities like Gilroy who are losing little by little all of our local control. And whenever we have an opportunity to say how we want things to be and where we have still some room to do it, we should exercise this to figure it out. And to that end, we only have to do 800 feet, right? So it could be up to the council still to change that. At this point, I get that our housing element says one thing, but I just wanted to make that clear. We could change that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
What happened in 2023 could be changed today. But 800 is the minimum.
Yeah, it's the minimum, but we're doing 1,000 right now. And I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying it is a place where whatever little control we have, we should make sure that we understand what that is and take any opportunity we can to keep it.
Back to Councilmember Hilton. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so put that back on the table. 1,000 feet is what we have chosen in the past to restrict these when we can go up higher. So that is our local control. And but before we took this action tonight, and maybe the director can come up and talk for a quick second, because it was me working with her office and the city attorney before we went into budget planning session to figure out when we're going to get this back on the agenda, when we're going to be back on the work plan. Because if we want to keep that local control that we have, then we can't let this continue to lapse again and it just be null and void. And someone could just say, you guys are not following state law anyways. You haven't for 2 years. So you're null and void. So I'm going to use the states, which means they could go higher. So that is exactly what I'm trying to get at, is to say this should come back every January whenever there's laws that are rewritten at the end of whenever there's laws enacted at the end of the year. Bring those forward in January so we don't lose our local control that we currently have. Does that make sense? Do you not want to bring up the director? Or are you trying to
No,
bring her up or something? Or?
Yeah, time out. Sharon. Okay, guys. Hey, whoa! Sharon. Don't be bashful. Okay. I understand the discussion that's occurring here, and I'm going to take my part. One is, I get that if we have discretion, let's be proactive with that. Let's also be proactive in meeting the state requirements. Okay? I will also say in my short time here that I do know staff has had to set some important things aside in order to get more immediate things the council would like seen done. So when the future CA gets here, it would be good to have that kind of discussion coupled with what you want to do over here with your other priorities so that staff can really focus on the key ones and you won't get upset when they don't get one of the other ones done. But with that said, Sharon, Councilmember Hilton asked you a question.
Yes. And I think kind of to follow on what Brad stated, staff has had to deal with a lot of priorities, because since I've arrived, I've seen, priorities keep increasing from the state and also, to meet community needs. And to balance among that and the daily operations, and we all try to prioritize our customers first too. So, number of applications and permit activity has really increased the last couple of years as well. So just balancing all of that between the state mandated items and the core items, as you've seen in our department's work plan, is really large. So it's just all of these things where, staff did bring an update to council, planning commission, then council in 2023. And just in 2024, we had several key retirements of very experienced staff, so that has just resulted in, a slight delay in this. But it has remained, ADU update has remained in our work plan, and also we've been trying to work on another item, which is actually bringing an update to council on all the ADU, you can call it, marketing or promotional, educational, activities that we've been trying to work on. And as you named, we updated our website, created ADU gallery, and there are more things that are in the works as well. So we'll be bringing that to council.
Thank you.
Councilmember Marks.